Yes, you read the video title correctly. You're not going crazy. And if you give me a few minutes to explain where I'm coming from, hopefully you're going to understand. I do believe that GTA 6, Grand Theft Auto 6, will be the last true video game ever made. But not in the way that you think, okay? So, I've been playing video games since I was a kid, back in the 90s. And I've watched the medium progress and evolve throughout these past 30 years, and it's been remarkable. Going from 2D side scrollers and platformers where you ran across the screen, jumping over things, jumping over gaps and on top of enemies' heads, to three-dimensional worlds where you're running around as the hero of time and saving Hyrule, and saving the princess. I've then seen the evolution of the 3D worlds, with the GameCube and the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. And as these things have developed and gotten better, it's been remarkable. It's been a pleasure to be a part of, and I've always thought, how far can we take this? How far can this medium go? How far can we take video games? How real can it become? How much passion and love can we take from inside of our minds and put into these games and make them reality? And so far, it's been incredible. It's been nothing short of a miracle. Until recently, right? Recently, just in the past couple of years, and hopefully you know where I'm going with this by now, things have been changing. Things have been evolving incredibly quickly, exponentially. And it all boils down to one central topic: artificial intelligence, AI. You know, it's getting impossible to ignore at this point. There's a paradigm shift happening here, you guys. We are in the middle of this life-changing generational event that is going to flip the script on the way not only video games but art itself is going to be created for the rest of time. A few years ago, you would have talked to people about this stuff and everyone would have said, oh, this is way down in the future, this is coming 10, 20, 30 years down the line. But here we are, the beginning of 2025, and things are getting weirder and crazier than ever. So since I'm a video game channel, I'm going to try to just focus on game development and what AI and artificial intelligence means for game development as a whole, and where we're going to go from here. So bringing it back to GTA 6, why do I say this? Why do I say that Grand Theft Auto 6 specifically is going to be the last true video game ever made? It's because of the way artificial intelligence, AI, is going to be used and utilized in the future. We've already seen companies like EA and Ubisoft, and now Capcom just recently this year in January. They've slowly started to incorporate this language, this lingo, these buzzwords into their earnings calls, into their interviews, into the way that they speak about their games and their game development. And it's a very insidious, it's a very slow process. They're all starting out saying, well, we're just going to use AI as a surface level type of developer. We're not going to be firing people. We're not going to be replacing our employees. We're just going to use it to help us generate ideas or objects within the game world. Things that are really tedious, like coding 1,000 different trees and blades of grass and clouds and, rain patterns and weather patterns. So it's starting off pretty harmless, and I'm all for that. Taking away the tedious, monotonous work that developers have to do day in and day out, to allow for further creativity, to allow that extra time that you save over here, allow that extra time to be spent making more art, making more combat scenarios, characters, music, storylines, DLC, more content, right? Higher quality content for us, the players, the consumers. So right now we're at this point where it's like, okay, AI is not too intrusive, It's not too bad. Yet. That's the key point here. That's what I'm trying to say. So fortunately for us, the games that are in development right now and that have been in development for a while, like Grand Theft Auto 6, they're going to be hardly touched by AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, they're going to be, just glazed by it just a little bit. But after GTA 6 comes out, people say it's coming out this year. I think it might get delayed to 2026. Regardless, 2025, 2026. The games that come out in these next 2 years, these are going to be the last ones. These are the last ones where it's going to be, 100% or 99% or even 90% human made. Made from the passion and the love and the thoughts and desires from the developers and the programmers. After this, guys, the script is flipping, the paradigm is shifting completely, and that little insidious use of AI that I discussed earlier, what do you think is going to happen? Think about it. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think the publishers, the guys at the top, the suits, the executives at the top, what do you think they're going to do with AI? Eventually it's going to reach this point where it's an Ultron type of level. I say the word Ultron because it's like a catch-all phrase that I'm pretty sure everybody can kind of understand. If you've seen the movie Avengers, the second one, love that movie. I think it's going to get more respect in the future. But if you've seen that movie, you'll know that they take an artificial intelligence AI that Tony develops and they put it into a mind, a body. And what happens? Well, we know what happens. But imagine if you just have the mind. We're not even going to talk about the body and what that means, putting that type of mind inside of a body, what that means for the world and for humanity. That's a completely different discussion and different video entirely. I'm just talking about for game development specifically. You put that one Ultron mind, that AI, into any company in the world, I don't care who you're talking about, any game development company, and then match that AI up against the best programmers, the best developers that you want. Put them all together. Have them work as hard as they can. Give them all the best food to eat, the best beds to sleep in. Who's going to win when you tell them, here's the game, go develop the game. Here's the idea, here's the storyline, here's what the music should sound like, go do it. I don't care how good these developers are. I don't care how many people you have working on it. They have to rest, they have to eat, they have to sleep, they have to go home, spend time with their family, with their friends. They have lives outside of the computer, outside of coding and programming. They have to take breaks, and we're limited. That's only the physiology. Talk about the actual mental capacity. The AI is going to blow them away. That single Ultron model is going to blow away the developers. In every aspect, every single one. It's going to outproduce them, outperform them, come up with better ideas than them, because it can think on a metaphysical level. It can simulate a million realities at once, whereas humans, we might be able to come up with a couple thousand if we're lucky, different storylines and ideas and characters. It can generate them all near instantly. So I ask you, where does this lead? Where does this path lead in game development? What does this mean for the medium of video games going forward? I could be completely wrong, and please comment below. Tell me your thoughts. I want to know what you guys think. I'm only giving my thoughts, my truth, what I believe. I think this only ends one way. The executives at the top, the people that run the companies, the top 10% that wear the suits, they're going to be able to fire 90% of everybody else. Best case scenario, 90%. And then just have the AI, one AI, make the video games for them. And that AI, let's be nice. Let's say it takes a month for the AI to make the game, to come up with the music, the storylines, the combat scenarios, the characters, the side quests, the DLC, the battle passes, everybody's favorite. It takes it a month. Well, those executives are going to be out of their minds. They're going to be so happy. They get to fire 90% of their employees. They subscribe to the Ultron AI model subscription, pay it every month, whoever owns it, pay them, and then create 12 AAA games a year? Man, we're lucky to get one AAA game from our favorite companies. I mean, look at Sony from last year, right? We got like, what, one or two? AAA games and how much money was spent. Let's not talk about the failures, right? The Concords that are out there, all these other games that are just absolute garbage that they spend hundreds and millions of dollars on. The live service from Ben Studio, the guys that should have been working on Days Gone for the past 6 years. Oh, I'm getting so angry. They've been working on this live service game for 6 years. Sony just canceled it this month, January of 2025. Days Gone came out in 2019. Imagine if they had been developing Days Gone 2 this whole time, how happy the fans would be, and how much money they would have recouped. But no, who knows how many tens, if not hundreds of millions Sony spent, and it's down the drain. The AI, guess what? He's going to know as soon as you pitch the idea, hey, Ultron, what do you think of this idea? We want to do a live service like this. He's going to say, no, that's a piece of crap. Let's develop this instead. The AI is going to be able to make better decisions. It's going to be able to run the company better than the executives themselves. Of course, the executives, you think they're just going to give up power? They're just going to step away from being, the suits at the top? No, of course not. Even though the AI is going to do every single decision, 99%, if not 100% of the decisions, the AI is going to do better than the executive. You think they're just going to give up their power? And say, oh, well, I guess you should just totally run the company and fire me. No, of course not. They're just going to go sit on a beach, relax, go on their yachts, and let the AI do all the work. That's the way I see this going. So what does this mean for us, the consumers, for the players, for the gamers? What does this mean for us? We're going to be getting AI-generated games, like purely AI-generated games. This is not going to happen overnight, okay? Like I said, this is going to be a slow process, as it already is. It's already starting. It's down here, okay? This is in the infancy stage. It's only going to get worse. It's going to go exponentially up to where AI is doing almost everything. Because why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't they let it do that? Yes, you're still going to have your indie developers and people that are purists like me that don't want to use the AI and blah, 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 blah. We're going to make up a small percentage of the games and the development that comes out and the art that is created in general. 90% of it is going to be AI driven, AI generated, AI created. So then I was thinking, well, how far can this go? I'm like, how long until the AI gets so good? We only have one Ultron building those things. Well, we all know technology doesn't stop. Moore's law does not stop. Technology does not just get worse over time. It continues to grow and expand and accelerate. What happens when you have 2 Ultrons or 3, God forbid 4, 5, or 10 working on it? You could have games, AAA games coming out every single day. So I think where this can lead in the future, it's like, imagine if we all have our own little AI buddies. Everyone has their own little AI agent, whatever, your best friend that you work with, your Cortana, your Hal, your Vega from Doom, whatever AI that you like, that you're familiar with in sci-fi. You have your own friend, and then you say, hey, you know what, Vega, make me a Lord of the Rings type game with swords and shields, fantasy, I want this kind of world. Boom, and it can generate you a AAA game in a day, or 2 days, or a week, however long you have to wait for it. And then you can be playing video games, brand new storylines, new music, new everything. You can be playing it all the time. Every day you can play something new. So then the companies, well, they're not just going to sit by and allow this to happen, right? So anything that you want to do that has to do with an IP, an intellectual property, right? You want a Kratos, a God of War, a Zelda, a Mario, a Halo, a Dragon Ball Z game, a Bloodborne, Stellar Blade, anything, Last of Us, Elden Ring, right? Dragon's Dogma. You're going to have to subscribe and pay a subscription to license. Once again, we know that we don't own things anymore in this world. You're going to have to pay a subscription to license the IP, the intellectual property. Like, okay, you want to make yourself a Zelda game? And we're Nintendo, we're going to say, okay, you can do that, but you got to pay us, whatever, $1,000 a month or however much money they want per month so that they can license Link out to you, whatever, so that you can use it and you can use Zelda and blah, 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 and Sheik and Ganondorf and their characters in your game. I could see that being a reality, but then legally, we have scapegoats, as consumers. You can create something that's adjacent to it, something similar, and not have to pay them at all. Because you're not going to use the name of Link, you're not going to use Zelda, you're not going to use their IP, right? Entirely. You're going to be inspired by it, but as long as you ask the AI, make sure this is Legally, make me a game that's like Zelda, but legally distinct. So they can't charge me, they can't sue me. And the AI is going to know all the laws in your region. It's going to know all the laws around the world. And it's going to say, here we go. I got your game for you. It's generated. It'll be ready for you tomorrow morning after breakfast. See you then. So, on one hand, it's like, holy crap, that's incredible. This is great. And then on the other hand, it's like we're taking out the human touch, the human love, the human passion, the human idea, the human ingenuity. We're taking it out entirely. I haven't seen anybody talk about this kind of stuff, you know? This is just where my mind goes. This is just where my mind it goes to these dark places where I think the future is heading in video games and also in technology and just in life, in human reality, and where we fit in. I don't know where we fit in. I don't know where we fit in this future world where AI is running everything. There's not a single job that we humans can do better than AI, than an Ultron. Okay? Currently, yes. You're going to say, of course we can, Lion. We can do this better and this better. I'm saying, yeah, okay, right now, yes. Talk to me 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. With all these new AIs that are coming out, they're coming out almost every week, man, and they're advancing exponentially. It's insane. It's absolutely insane what is happening. It's blowing my mind as a scientific mind who looks at everything through a psychological lens, because that's what my background is in. This is blowing my mind just watching this happen. And I'm trying to see and think, where does it go in the future? Where are we headed with all of this? And what is our place in the world when we have this type of power out there? And what does it mean for video games? So yeah, I think after GTA 6, games are going to be vastly different. They're going to be ever increasing in AI usage, and it's going to get to the point where we don't even need people to program. You're just going to sit there. You're not even going to have to generate ideas. You want the executives won't even have to think. They won't even have to talk to it. The AI is just going to know what to do. It's going to come up with its own ideas and create its own games without zero human interaction, human touch, human artistic expression. It'll just evaporate out of the industry. And that's scary to me. Like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but this is where I see it coming, I see it going. Only because of money, because it's going to be cheaper for them to do it this way. Technology only gets cheaper and more powerful as time goes on. It's just the way of the world, supply and demand. Where do we fit in this? Where do we fit in that future? I don't know. I don't have the answer. Maybe you do. Tell me, please. All I want is great games, full of passion, unique stories that people can connect with and people can talk to each other about, you know? If everyone's playing their own game, if you have your AI making your own video game, like that's cool and everything. It can make it tailored to you, but your next door neighbor, your friend online, they're going to be playing something completely different. They're going to be playing their own game. Like even if a Zelda game comes out, or a Mario, or a Halo, or an Elden Ring, your AI is going to change it and modify it in so many ways that it's going to look completely different than your friend. And in some ways, that's great because it's going to be beneficial for you. But I think we're going to lose that human touch, that human connection. You know, we're going to lose, something's going to be lost along the way. And I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer to this question, to this problem. But regardless, guys, I hope we all really, really enjoy GTA 6. Because after that, things will never be the same. I truly believe it. What do you think?